on to Pam from Pam's Place. Was wondering if you could explain how to ensure that photos are eligible for commercial use. How do you navigate and use the site, specifically deposit photos? When do you use such photos for product covers, blogs, social media, etc.? If wanting to use in a product, do you have to give credit? How do you even know? Whew. Okay, stock photos. She mentioned deposit photos, and I think I like deposit photos because they have a pretty generous terms of use, which, a lot of them are standard. I know some people just like to use Pixabay. It's free. However, if you're using Pixabay, I would be a little careful if you're using images of people, because you do need a model release. And if that's not there, I'd be concerned. Whereas I know that on deposit photos, they have model releases, so I can use people. And there's more variety. How do I know that I can use them for commercial use? You have to read the terms of service. You go onto the site and you read their terms. That's what I do. And some of them, they have all their legal terms, and then they say it in nice language that you can easily understand. I find, even if somebody recommends something to me, so somebody recommended deposit photos to me. I'm another seller. But I went to deposit photos and I read the terms for myself, because that seller that recommended it to me is not responsible for my actions. I am responsible for my actions and what I do. So even though I sit and I say I like deposit photos, you should go read their terms for yourself and make an interpretation. Okay, so their terms will tell you what you can use and what you can't. Editorial photos for editorial use, that is not for like what we do. So keep that in mind. And when you go to the site, at the bottom of any of these sites, there's a terms. You click on that, you can find it. If not, you can Google like deposit photos, terms of service, or whatever the site is. But then you just go to the site and you just do a search. There's a big old search bar, and you search and you just narrow it down to what you want. Deposit photos I like because they have different things. So if you want now this doesn't always work 100%, but maybe you want square photos. You can search, you can tag it in that way. So you can refine your search. Maybe you want women and not men. Maybe you want all nationalities. You can do that. So they have different ways to refine their search. So that's another reason I do like them. They do have a huge variety. So yeah, stock photos can be used for anything. They can be used for covers. They can be used for pins. They can be used for blog post images, for social media images, just about, anything. You just, want to make sure you read their terms. Now, you can use them generally, again, read the terms of the site. You can use them in products as long as it's not like the main content of your product. So a lot of them allow that you have to add text and whatever. So it's not like the main focus of the product. They don't want you just making flashcards from them, but you'd have to read. And do you need to give credit? Yes. If you're using it in a product, TPT requires that you give credit. They have started asking for that credit for anything and everything. Even if you're the one that created it or took the picture, then you credit yourself. So I do that because I use my background papers. And so I put myself in my credits section. If you submit to the newsletter or their social media, there better be a credits page there or your product will not be accepted. And anything that you've put in there, fonts, pictures, clip art, it needs to be credited. It's not too difficult to use like deposit photos.